Streaming live now on News8000.com. You're watching WKBT La Crosse. This is News 8 Now at noon.
Good afternoon. It is Friday, May 26th, and thank you for watching News 8 Now. I'm Jeremy Wall. Let's get right into the news today. Eau Claire's Police and Fire Commission has named Matt Jagger the city's new fire chief. He succeeds previous chief Chris Bell, who retired last month. News 8 Now's Emily Haugen sat down with Chief Jagger and shares where he came from and what he hopes to do next.
Service can be a calling.
It's held by my beliefs. We should pay things forward and we should leave things better than they were previously.
Matt Jagger's desire to help took him from a teenage job at the grocery store to something unexpected.
A member of the Town of Hall Fire Department came into the grocery store looking for an item, and he asked me if I had ever considered being a firefighter, to which I candidly answered no.
That push lit a spark in 18-year-old Jagger. That spark followed him to Eau Claire.
I had a desire to serve more for the community and the department that was investing in me.
Jagger has filled plenty of roles in his 25 years with the city.
For the last 4 years, I've served as Deputy Chief of Operations.
That time was spent investing in his community and his colleagues.
Matt is a class act. Everybody's here for the same reason, and which is to help people.
We really do want to make a difference in helping people, making our community safer.
And last Friday, Jagger was named fire chief.
It was filled with a lot of emotions, one of gratitude, thankfulness, and excitement.
Gratitude turning into goals.
We're going to continue to build on what we're doing very well now.
Taking on his new title with a team in his corner.
If you have great people that you're working with, your job is awesome.
In Eau Claire, Emily Haugen, News 8 Now.
Jagger started his duties as fire chief last Friday. His swearing-in ceremony will be held at 4 p.m. on June 5th at Eau Claire Fire Station 10. All right, it's time for the weather. Let's head over to Derek for your Friday forecast. Derek.
All right, thank you for that. We are looking at a nice clear sky across much of the Coulee region right now, thanks to high pressure that currently sits over the Great Lakes region. That is providing all the dry air and sunshine, as you can see right now. And things will continue to remain that way, it looks like, really throughout the rest of the day. Our current temperatures are in the upper 60s to low 70s, 70 in La Crosse now, 68 in Winona, 69 in Eau Claire, 70 degrees Black River Falls, and 67 in Viroqua. Temperatures are just shy of 70 in Prairie du Chien, but we're seeing 74, very comfortable down south in the Boscobel area. So here's a look at the rest of the afternoon today. Lots of sunshine to work with, temperatures in the mid-70s by 3 p.m. Overall, a very seasonable day in terms of those temperatures, with lots of clear skies overhead here as well. Couldn't have asked for much of a nicer day here with that light southerly wind breeze to go along with it at around 5 to 10 miles an hour. But our temperatures are going to keep warming up here over the next several days. I'll talk about how warm they could get. Plus, I'll let you know if there could be some storm chances later next week. Jeremy?
All right, thanks, Derek. This weekend kicks off the unofficial start to summer, and with many kids being home alone while school's out, it can be easy for them to get into trouble. Wellness experts say 11 is usually a good age to start allowing children to stay home alone. Experts also stress the importance of teaching your children what to do during emergencies such as power outages and fires, so they are better prepared if something happens when you're gone. One Gunderson expert says boundaries and rules are critical to keeping your kids safe.
I think setting guidelines and standards of what's okay for your youth to do while you're gone. Is it okay for them to go to the store when you're not here? Making sure you're having a check-in system, that you have code words in place.
Harris also recommends parents should review expectations with teenagers, including where they are going and who they're going with. Habitat for Humanity is looking for volunteers to help complete its first Trempealeau County home. Construction on a house for Marcelina Jose and her 5 children began last October. Since then, builders have put down a foundation, framed walls, and installed plumbing and electric. Habitat gave tours of the progress while having a cookout. Now that it's summer, volunteers can help with the finishing touches. If you'd like to help the family finish their home or work on any of the other 10 projects that Habitat has right now, you could sign up on their website. Monday, we showed you local efforts to stop rural puppy mills from overbreeding for profit. The problem is even worse in southern states where shelters are often so overcrowded with abandoned puppies that they resort to putting them down. Shelters right here in the Cooley region are now trying to give puppies a second chance at life.
They euthanize more dogs on the daily basis than our shelters can hold.
The afternoon we visited Shannon Johnson, her nonprofit Stray Souls is expecting a dozen puppies from a high-kill shelter in Texas, one that's built to house 85 dogs, but currently has more than 300.
Monday, they put down a litter of puppies that didn't even have their eyes open.
Every day, Johnson's email has new requests from similar shelters, begging for help.
Seeing a plea for help and realizing that I can't because I don't have the right personnel for it.
She wants to save as many puppies as possible, but she's limited.
Before I can agree to bring a dog out of a southern shelter, they have to have a confirmed foster placement here because we don't have a facility.
Many animal rescue groups don't have their own building. And even though the Cooley Region Humane Society has one, they're pushed to the limit.
When we get super overcrowded, there's potential that we have to set up wire crates.
Fostering is a way these rescues and humane societies get some relief. Volunteers open their home to a puppy or two for an average of 2 weeks, while the organizations help find the puppy's forever home.
Seeing that they are just a completely different dog now that they've had the time to decompress out of the shelter, that's very rewarding.
It's why Shannon Christensen in Holman has fostered 35 dogs in the past 2 years for Last Paw Rescue based out of Toma.
If it wasn't for us fosters, all these dogs would be dead.
She wants to foster even more, but a Holman ordinance says a home can only have up to 3 dogs. She already owns 3, and when she added 2 fosters recently, a neighbor called police.
I explained to him that all my dogs are vetted, they're registered with the Village of Holman, and then the other 2 were fosters. Basically told me I would probably need to make sure I find a home for them soon so that I don't get any more complaints.
For her, it's a frustrating limitation.
This is what's stopping us from moving on and saving these animals.
What I'm asking the board to look at is ordinance and possibly considering short-term fostering.
She's now asking the village to update the ordinance to allow people like her to continue housing dogs that would otherwise be put down. Without a change, the next complaint could put an end to her passion for saving animals.
In the beginning, I was like, what am I getting myself into? Now, I don't know what I do without it. It's one of the things I don't want to give up on.
A sentiment Johnson and her volunteers know well as they meet their new furry arrivals after a long journey north.
When you're sitting there holding a puppy and you know that because you stepped up, that dog's story changed, that makes those messages hit home.
At this point, there's no plan to update Holman's ordinance. Stray Souls and Last Paws Rescue have information for prospective foster volunteers on their websites. We've got those links on news8000.com. When we come back, the car company that will soon have access to Tesla's charging stations. Stay with us for your consumer news because it's on the way. Stocks had a mixed closing Thursday ahead of the news the White House and Congress could be close to a deal on raising the deal ceiling. The Dow dropped 35 points, but the Nasdaq soared 213 points, and the S&P 500 rose 36 points. CBS News' Chanel Call has the latest business news headlines from New York.
Starting next year, Ford electric vehicle drivers will have access to about 12,000 Tesla charging stations in the U.S. and Canada. The heads of the two companies announced the deal in a Twitter Spaces chat yesterday. Ford chief Jim Farley said that while current Ford owners will have to get a Tesla adapter to use them, new Fords will be manufactured with Tesla's standard charging connector starting in 2025. Tesla CEO Elon Musk added that Ford owners will eventually be able to access Tesla's chargers through Ford's app. Virgin Galactic just took one giant leap towards space tourism. Its spaceplane Unity completed a final test flight yesterday, taking off from New Mexico almost 2 years after the company's last crewed flight. 2 pilots and 4 company astronauts were on board. Virgin Galactic now hopes to begin taking paid customers up on its suborbital flights starting in June. And millions of Americans are expected to travel this weekend as the nation observes Memorial Day. AAA says if you're looking to hit the roads, you may want to avoid leaving on Friday and instead travel on Saturday or Sunday when roads should be less crowded. Those of you catching flights may also want to pack your patience. AAA predicts airports could be at their busiest in almost 20 years. That's your CBS News Money Watch report. For more, log on to cbsmoneywatch.com. At the CBS Broadcast Center, I'm Chanel Call.
And that's it for your afternoon consumer news. As we head to break, here's a live look at the New York Stock Exchange. Stay with us. More news is next. An important treatment for COVID-19 has just received full approval from the FDA, and what you eat could affect your risk of contracting a virus that causes some cancers. Bradley Blackburn has a look at the day's top health stories.
The oral antiviral pill Paxlovid now has full official approval from the FDA to treat COVID-19 in adults. The medicine is for mild to moderate cases in high-risk patients and has been widely prescribed for more than a year under emergency use authorization. There's new evidence that diet could affect risk for contracting HPV, the virus that leads to cervical cancer. Researchers in Louisiana found that women who do not eat fruits, green vegetables, and beans were at higher risk of HPV infection. Those foods have 4 key antioxidants that may reduce HPV risk. And exercising in the afternoon could help lower blood sugar for people with type 2 diabetes. A study from Brigham and Women's Hospital tracked more than 2,000 people and found the greatest improvements in glucose control among those active in the afternoon. Researchers say more needs to be done to understand why. Those are some of the day's top health stories. Bradley Blackburn, CBS News, New York.
That's it for our medical news today. Here's a look at CityCam 8. Derek is in next with our forecast.
Well, it sure is an absolute gorgeous start here to the afternoon outside from CityCam 8 in downtown La Crosse. Really can't find any clouds whatsoever. Crystal clear blue sky with temperatures at 70 degrees. And because it's so clear, visibility is perfect at 10 miles. Southwest winds at 6 miles an hour. Our river stage is at 9.92 feet along the Mississippi, and that's currently falling. Meanwhile, to the north in Eau Claire, 69 degrees, lots of sunshine here. South-southeast winds at 8 miles an hour. Visibility also looking nice at around 10 miles. Current temperatures across the rest of the area. Upper 60s to low 70s, 70 degrees in Winona, 70 in Volkfield and also in Sparta, 68 in Viroqua, and temperatures are actually just shy of 70 if you're in Prairie du Chien listening here this afternoon. Meanwhile, 74 currently in Boscobel. Now, we will warm up into those mid to upper 70s, some spots reaching the upper 70s to low 80s. In fact, that's pretty much what we're going to be at today in La Crosse, just shy of 80 today. And the same thing could be said here towards the north in Eau Claire. Now, as far as your day planner goes, 75 degrees at 3 p.m., followed by 79 degrees at 5 o'clock with still lots of sun, mostly sunny, 75 as we get closer towards the early evening at around 7 p.m. No clouds and nothing really right now on the satellite and radar picture at all, and that is all thanks to an area of high pressure that continues to build across the Great Lakes region, and that alone has been responsible for producing this clockwise flow wind pattern that we're looking at, and also dry and sunny weather that we're currently experiencing outside. Now, here is what's going to happen here. This high pressure system that you see positioned across the Great Lakes to our east is forecast to move away from us and weaken here at the same time, especially as we get towards later in the weekend, along with that southerly wind profile. So that's going to really help warm us up as we head into next week here too. But as that high moves away, pressures will lower here, and that could allow for the environment to destabilize here a little bit, along with that continued south wind. So we could be looking at some increasing moisture around here as we get closer towards the mid to latter half of next week here, especially where you see some of those greener areas. Those are chances of showers and thunderstorms that we have in the forecast for the Coulee region as we head into Wednesday through Friday of next week. That will be our best bet right now to see those slight rain and storm chances. We'll keep our eyes on that. Nothing too significant. Not expecting a washout mid to late next week, so nothing to worry about there. But enjoy the dry and calm weather conditions while we got it, because it looks like, Jeremy, will probably start flipping the weather pattern here a little bit in the next several days.
Interesting, yeah. I mean, it can't go wrong, though, with these 80-degree temperatures all throughout the weekend. I mean, truthfully, it's what we wait all year for here.
Exactly. This is the time to do it, to be outside. I gotta tell you, this is my favorite time of the year in the upper Midwest. It's gorgeous. You can't beat it. So.
And the summers are gorgeous.
Yes.
Thank you so much, Derek. Coming up after the break, the golf out for a good cause you won't want to miss. We'll be right back.
You're watching News 8 Now. Expect more.
The Good Fight is hosting their 3rd annual golf outing on June 25th, and there's only 6 more days until registration closes on June 1st. Registration is $60 per person and includes golf, a golf cart, a lunch bar, and more. There will also be a raffle and silent auction to help support area youth. For more information or to register, we have a link on our website. That's news8000.com. Stay with us. We will have one more check of your forecast when we return.